Hi, here I have an FSS model which is kind of a two square ring sandwiched in between two RT-Doodle substrate. So you can see that there are two RT-Doodle substrate and in between there is a two ring. So in the simulation setup you can see, I'm sorry, not this one. In the simulation setup, you can see there is a master slave boundary that will assume these square rings are periodic in structure. Means it's a unit cell situated at the center of a infinitely long periodic boundary. And you can see on top and bottom, you can see the flocket port. Okay, flocket port. And it's also de-embedded to the distance till this point. So from top and bottom pocket ports are there. So pocket ports are nothing but the ports in a free space which will send the plane wave into or multiple modes. You can also send it. So I'll come to that one. So before starting into pocket port, you should see there are A and B directions are defined here. A towards X direction, B towards Y directions. What that means is if you go into the mode setup, there are two modes are defined. How the electric field should be defined for TE and TM modes. Nothing but it's in for mode 1 the electric field will be perpendicular to or parallel to X direction, and in TM mode electric field will be parallel to Y direction. It's nothing but creating two kind of a plane wave in two direction of incidence, in one in X direction and one in Y directions, and it's going to incident from the normal direction which is the Z directions. So if I have that kind of a plane wave which will pass through this structure, that same wave can be received at the bottom FSS. So with the pocket port you can calculate what will be the transmission through the structure, what is the reflections through the structure, and assume that in some of the structure the field can incident in different angle, especially for a curved structure like a parabola, or if you are having an FSS structure on a radome, this can be incident at different direction. And if you wanted to change the angle of incidence, what you need to do is if you have options here in this slave model, in this slave, if you double click on the slave, there is an option called what is the angle of incident. So if I put the angle of incident of theta equal to 0, the field will come into the normal directions or perpendicular to xy, or which we can say in the direction of z directions. So if I increase my theta angle to 0, 10, 20, 30 like that, what it happen is you will see the field will incident in 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree. And to see that one, you just have to define a variable here, theta scan, and you can also define a phi scan also if you want to change the phi of the wave. Okay, and what you need to do is, as usually, you just have to tell what frequency this has to be simulated and what should be the delta is, and the second one you need to see the frequencies between some frequency points, let's say 10 to 16 gigahertz of 101 frequency points, and it's all I already simulated here. Which I already simulated here. You can see the S parameter, and this is a insertion loss, and this is a return loss. Yeah, this is, you can say, flocket port 1 to flocket port 1. This is a reflection coefficient. You can see this is having highly reflective at till about 13 gigahertz. After that, it's you can see a pass reflection coefficient is coming down. So if I see the transmission coefficient between port 1 and port 2, you can see till that frequency there is no much transmission happening, but after this frequency there is a transmission band. So this EFSS can block any signal up to this frequency band, and it can transmit these frequency through the structure. And you can say there are multiple S parameter depends on the theta scan angle. So this is theta scan angle when the signal is incidenting normal to the XY. When this is the theta scan angle of almost 2 degree, when there is a theta incident of 2 degree, like that you can see multiple S parameter. So depends on this incident angle to the structure, your S parameter is varying. So now you have transmission coefficient and reflection coefficient of this structure. What you need to do is, there is a MATLAB or Python script developed by HFSS team. You can run that script, which will automatically take that incident reflection transmission coefficient into a reflection transmission table. And for that, I'll before starting that, I will just show you another thing. So you can see there is a theta scan and phi scan parametric simulation which is done. So theta scan is changing from 0 to 86 degree with a step of 2 degrees. So if you go to the table, you will see 0, 2, 4, 6 up to 86 degree we have calculated. So this 0 to 86 with the 44 steps. So keep that in mind. Just go to run script and just paste that location where the files are. So this is the Python script. You just have to open it. It will ask you a question: what is a minimum theta, what is a maximum theta? So 86 is maximum theta. So what is the number of steps? 44 is the number of steps. You just have to click done. It will take time to export it because it will need to take all S parameter, converting that into reflection transmission table. After that, what it will do is it will create a reflection transmission tables. Over here you can see this is created with the same name of the HFSS design. So now it is 0 KB. So it is actually under the process. It will take some time to create that file. Yeah, it took almost 5 to 6 minutes to create that file. So now you can see this file is created. If I open it, what you are seeing is you can see the reflection. Yeah, this name is reflection transmission table, and number of points is nothing but number of steps -1. And you can see this frequency sweep is nothing but 10 to 16 gigahertz. Every 100 frequency points are calculated. So you can see there are 8 columns. One is real part of transmission. 1 minute. Reflections. Okay, this is reflection of TE mode in real, and this is reflection of TE mode in imaginary, reflection of TM mode in real, reflection of TM mode in imaginary, transmission of TE mode in real, transmission of TE mode in imaginary, and similarly for the second mode. So it will create a huge matrix, and where we can use this one is, let's take a same example over here. I have an HFSS files here, okay, which is equivalent to solve this kind of a problem. You can see a horn antenna, and there is a FSS models. So what you can do is you can make a horn antenna, just create a horn antenna here, and try to find out where the phase center of the antenna, or else you can use near field coupling, and come back here. So you just create a sheet which is representing your FSS boundary. Right click on the sheet Go to assign mesh, assign boundary. There is an option called Fresnel boundary, FSS. Then here there is an option for you to import from table file, and you can go and browse this file, and the location where you have it, you can see this is, you just have to locate it. So that's all, you can just create it. So there is a question how to get this guy. So delete this guy and place the coordinate system where you want to import your own antenna. Just browse the 3D component, sorry, right click, create antenna, link to source design. You have option, you can either import far field or near field. Select the near field, go to link, use this project. So this name is horn, select horn, and you can ask the sweep of that horn to be selected. And you can also take the block gauge models, ask H versus horn, and port cap has to be selected as a block gauge model. Select finish, so you will see these models. Then as usual, you just have to say I wanted to simulate for 15 gigahertz, or you can set start stop frequency and then analyze it. That's all.